Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go the Cash App, $ Deem by any means. There go the PayPal at Deem by any means. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. Is much appreciated. I want to talk about something that's near and dear to me because I feel like I'm one of the biggest voices out here that's actually pushing this. And it's not a sense to push it just because I want it to be this way. I really wish it was the opposite. I truly do. But I'm not. As a black man, a couple days after one of the best men to ever walk this earth, Malcolm X, birthday that just passed, I gotta keep it real, y'all. And I owe y'all my supporters, because y'all not fans, y'all are supporters. Because y'all motivate me and help me and give me different perspectives and keep me up on game and the whole nine. So I truly appreciate y'all. I got a message for a young man that I really think I know is just a special fighter. Gonna be one of the best of our generation. Um and I want to jump in front of this before it goes down that road, because I actually think it's going to go down that road, and it's just sad to me. But Abdullah Mason, man, can you please learn from Terrence Crawford, from Shakur Stevenson, from Floyd Mayweather? Can you please learn from them, young man? You a young boy, you 20 years old, man, and I understand that you want to do whatever you can to get your name out there, top rank. They keep you very active. But Bob Arum don't promote black fighters, my guy. You are probably the best fighter besides Shakur Stevenson he has in period. And the fact that I know that he's going to try to push you similar to how he pushed Shakur Stevenson, and is doing Shakur right now. And I just don't like it for you, my guy. I really hope that you got a lot of people around you that care about you. I have faith that you do. Um, and I just really wish the best for you, man. I just hate to see young men who superstars. Look at Ant-Man. Ant-Man ain't have to wait to become a superstar and all of this stuff. He was 22 years old. Muhammad Ali was a superstar at 22 years old. Gervonta Davis been a superstar since he was 23, 24 years old. So I just don't think that I don't believe what everybody else believe. I believe you there now. I believe you there now. I believe you beat a Keyshawn Davis, a Raymond Maritala, all of those guys. I believe you beat all of those top ranked guys at 140. Maybe not the champions. You might not be ready for some of them because just the size. That's the main thing. But um, I just really feel as though Abdullah Mason is just a special fighter. I think that when Abdullah Mason is at his apex, won't none of them be able to beat him. There's only one fighter out there that I think could beat Abdullah Mason, and that's Gervonta Davis. And that's the true 50-50 fight for me. But it would take Abdullah Mason to get much more experience. And I don't know where Gervonta Davis would be at 6 years from now, because then that'd be the same thing as Terrence Crawford versus Boots. But I think even Abdullah Mason is a little ahead of Boots as far as where he was at 20 compared to where Abdullah Mason is at 20. And that's why I think this kid, he reminds me of Shakur, but just not as defensive, just a notch under there. But he's more powerful than Shakur. He's more athletic than Shakur. Got more explosion than Shakur. I think he's faster than Shakur. So it's just a lot of things about that young man boxing game that I really admire. And I just think that he's just a superstar now. See, this be the thing. Guys can't become superstars when you keep trying to suppress their talent, man. You see it happen in the NBA, the NFL, a bunch of different places where a guy will be on one team and he ain't cooking, and you think it's because he not like that, and then he go to another team and now he an all-star and all this, that, and the third. It's just that people was suppressing his talent. They ain't let the bird lead a nest. I think Abdullah Mason should be much further even right now. I don't think a lot of those guys can beat him right now. You look at a David Morrell, he only got non-professional fights, 11, 12 professional fights, but at the end of the day, he got it's his age, so they take him a little bit more serious, so he's able to get a title shot. Lomachenko had 3 fights, I think, and got a title shot. So don't tell me people got to sit up there and just wait their turn or sit in the background while everybody else getting this bread and getting this shine. Abdullah Mason is a superstar, man. Abdullah Mason is one of the best boxers, in my opinion. He's a top 10 guy to me. You could forget that pound for pound list. I don't think it's more. First of all, in his weight divisions from 135 to 140, I only think it's one or two fighters that could beat him. Especially him with the eye growing in the IQ. He don't have Shakur Stevenson's IQ or cat-like reflexes that Shakur got, just the awareness. If Shakur was a boxer, his awareness would be on 99. I mean, not a boxer. If it was in a video game, his awareness would be on 99. So I just don't want Abdullah Mason to fall in the same trap as the greats before him, man. Y'all all hear that saying, man. I done seen it happen to the best of them. Literally, y'all. The best two fighters that have been in our generation, I mean, in the last two generations, of Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford, they couldn't become superstars over there. Abdullah Mason and Shakur, what makes you think you're special, that you can do it? And Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr. couldn't do it. They had to step away. There's no reason that Terence Crawford should be as popular as he is at 37. He should have been this popular 10 years ago. Terence Crawford ain't just get good. Terence Crawford was already an A-plus level fighter, probably a top 10 pound for pound fighter 10 years ago. But when you don't give the man the opportunities to prove that, then he got to wait till he's 37 to fight an Earl Spence Jr. Nah, y'all, I'm not going for that, y'all. I'm not going for that. I don't want to see that young man career not be what it should be, all because he want to stay active. Man, these other promotional companies and people can get you active, but at least they going to put you on a billboard. At least they going to really push you, put some money behind you, put you in places where you could become a star, where you could be seen. You got to be seen outside of boxing, Abdullah, not just in boxing. Bob don't help nobody be visible outside of boxing. Look what Eddie Hearn did. Eddie Hearn is smart. He took Jaron Ennis, right? And then brought boxing back to Philadelphia in a major stadium in the country at the Wells Fargo Center for Boots. Soon as he signed him, his first fight, he gave him a homecoming, a crazy press conference. You see what I'm saying? Making sure that he get in front of eyes. When they got other fights coming up, they're going to be talking about Jaron Ennis' fight. And guess what? It's working because that fight is basically sold out and it's 2 months away. You got to put yourself, young man, in a position now. Forget all that weight and stuff, man. This coming from an OG that you would consider an OG, but like, nah, forget that weight and stuff, man. Don't make mistakes that I've made. Don't make mistakes other fighters have made. Forget that weight and stuff. Go get yours now. Go get it now. Be extra focused now. Stay in the gym now. Grind now. Work on your weaknesses now. Don't wait until it get exposed like Devin Haney. Work on it now. Work on every aspect of boxing. What you think you lacking at. Whatever you think you good at, become super great at it. Become so good at it that your muscles just react in a certain way that you can't even control. You just out here jabbing people, you can't even help it. You walking down the street, jab somebody. I ain't even mean to do that. Got a bright future in front of you, young man. I see it. I ain't been wrong about talent. I don't be wrong too often about talent in boxing. Sometimes I could be fooled because I'm not perfect. That's what separates me from the man upstairs. But your talent and anybody who don't see that, I don't know what they say to young Magneto, man, because that's exactly who I think he is. I mean, he possesses all the tools. I call Abdullah Mason Magneto for this one reason. Metal got everything in it. Everything around you got metal in it. Little do you know. Most things around you got metal in it. Even your body. Little do you know. And the craziest thing is Magneto could uproot the earth if he chose to. If he got mad enough. And I believe the same thing about Abdullah Mason, that he just possesses everything that you need for a fighter to be special like that. He reminds me of a Shakur Stevenson, a Terence Crawford. He really reminds me of Terence Crawford for real, for real. I really think he really reminds me more of a Terence Crawford. And I think he could have that same success and be known the same way that a Terence Crawford is known out here nowadays. So Abdullah Mason, man, get away from Bob Arum, man. He do not got the best interests of a lot of black fighters, and I have just seen his resume from Floyd Mayweather, from to Terence Crawford to Shakur Stevenson, and what's going on now. Don't you let it happen to you, Muhammad Ali, young man. Don't let it happen to you, man. Take control of your career now. Take control of your career now. You got a big enough name where we want to see you. If you disappear, we'll be, where's Abdullah Mason at? No, take control of your career now. Get on them billboards now. Get them interviews now. Go go market yourself, man. Don't be scared to get in front of that camera and speak and show people your personality and your smile and all that. Do it now. Look at Ant-Man. Ant-Man is 2 years older than you. And he's shining. And he's shining. The whole world love him because Minnesota ain't trying to suppress him. Don't let nobody suppress your light, young boy. Don't let nobody suppress your light, young boy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Please don't, man. Don't make the same mistakes that me and plenty others we have made, where it's like you worried about this and you're not sure, man. Be sure of yourself, man. You can do it. I'm telling you, you that talented. These other guys don't possess what God gave you. They don't possess it. So once you fine tune them skills, you'll be unstoppable, young man. You'll be unstoppable. I promise you, you will. But you gotta believe that, and I think you do from the way you fight. You fight like you believe it, but you gotta believe it all the way around the board, not just inside that ring. Because boxing ain't about just inside that ring. Get in touch with a manager, Marty, and people like that can put some game onto you. Go holler at my big dog Fanon. Shout out to Fanon. Because I just think those are two individuals. Holler at my man Knockout. I think those are a lot of individuals that you can holler at behind the scenes, man, and just pick people's brain as far as what they think you should be doing. Because I think people will give you a real assessment of where they see not being involved directly in the sport. We just talk about it on YouTube. But I promise you, they may tell you similar things to what you're hearing right now. Take control of your career now. If you're going to stay with Bob, make sure Bob keep you active, but also make sure that he's giving you the names that keep you. It is just cool to be active, but who you active against? It's cool to be active, but who you active against? What matters? Get them former champions. Get the Keyshawn Davises and Jermaine Ortizes and people like that. And if you go up to 140, do the same blueprint. Richardson, Hitchison, and people like that. Well, Jermaine Ortiz at 140 now, but y'all get my idea of what I'm saying. Even if you want to be building yourself up, build yourself up with the right names. That every fight, every step give you a little bit more notoriety of somebody we really think, I can't wait to see what Abdullah Mason does against a Keyshawn or a Raymond or a Tyler or people like that. See what he'll do against a Ryu and people like that, Della Santos and yeah, you could be active, but who you active against? And I believe your talent and your name is out there enough where you may not have the name that the other people got that I mentioned, but they probably would be the underdog if the fight got announced against you. That's the craziest. That's what would entice them, is that most people will be saying, I think Abdullah Mason gonna beat you. So y'all know what this is, man. Deem by any means. And I holla at y'all.